everyone, this is Akshay Sadavarte and I am your Gyani Buddy for today. Today we will be making the part 2 of our interview preparation series in which we will be discussing the most asked interview questions for DBMS. Sanket, like last time, will be answering the questions here which I will be asking him. So make sure you watch this video till the end and leave a like if you find this helpful. Also, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started. So guys, Sanket is here with us finally.
Hello everyone.
So Sanket, the first question for you today is, could you describe acid properties?
Okay, so acid property is basically used to ensure integrity, correctness, and accuracy of our database management system. So acid property stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability.
Right. So could you describe them further?
Okay, so A stands for atomicity. So atomicity is either all or none. So suppose if your ongoing transaction fails, so the whole transaction will roll back. Then comes consistency. So in consistency, the initial stage and final stage of a transaction should be consistent. So consider you have 5,000 rupees in your bank account. After you withdraw 500, you will get 500 bucks and your account should have 4,500. So the total should remain 5,000 after the transaction and before the transaction. This is consistency. Now isolation. Isolation means your transactions should happen in isolate environment. So if some transaction is happening, other transaction should not interrupt that transaction. So in simple words, we can tell the transaction should be serial. And the fourth one is durability. Once the database has committed, it should not change in any case. So our entries should be permanent in the database. So that's all about acid properties.
Right. So Sanket, imagine this scenario. There are two accounts, A and B. A has 700 and B has 500 bucks respectively. After some time, A transfers 100 bucks to B. Like it is supposed to transfer it, but the moment the 100 bucks are deducted from A's balance, the transaction fails due to some, let's say, hardware issue. So what should be the next step here?
So the money is deducted from A's account and the transaction failed. So the money that is deducted should be restored in A's account, that is adding the deducted money. And B has nothing to do with transaction because nothing happened with this account. So every transaction should get rollback that happened. This is a violation of atomicity and atomicity should be maintained.
That is correct, Sanket. So my next question is, what is indexing and why is it used?
So indexing is data structure technique used to retrieve data from the database more efficiently based on the index attribute that is set on our database.
Right. So Sanket, do you have any idea about sparse and dense indexing?
Yes. So sparse indexing, we take limited values, but in dense indexing, every value gets entry. So let me explain with an example. Suppose you have a matrix with a multiple values and most of the values are 0. So in dense indexing, every row, column ID and value will get entry. But in sparse indexing, only non-zero attribute will get entry. So we will store only that row ID, column ID, which have non-zero entry. So this is about sparse indexing and dense indexing.
Right. So can you tell me how many types of indexing are there?
So basically there are three types of indexing. First one is primary indexing. Suppose we have a file which is sorted on a primary key. So we can store only one entry from each record. We have an 100 row page. We have make we have made a record of 10 each. So we will take first entry of each record. So as file is sorted, we can get a value within a block if we get the address of a block. The second type is clustered indexing. In this indexing, suppose our file is not sorted on non-prime attribute, that is not a primary key. So we may have multiple entries of same value. So we will take only unique values from our file and we will make our index file. And the third type is secondary indexing. As the name suggests, file is not sorted and we have to take every entry in our index file.
So can you categorize these three into sparse and dense respectively?
Okay, so primary indexing, we are only taking one entry from each block. So this is a sparse indexing. But in case of clustered indexing, we are taking unique values. So it can be sparse or dense because we are not taking all the value, but we are taking every value. And in secondary indexing, it's a dense indexing because each and every value is getting entry in our index file.
Right, that is correct. So Sanket, imagine that we have a students table in which we have student name, student roll number and student address. So can you create an index over student name and student roll number?
Yeah. So for creating this, we can write an MySQL query, create index, index name, let's call it role name on student, and we will specify the fields in round bracket, roll number and student name.
That is correct, Sanket. So my next question is, do you know what normalization is and what it is used for?
So normalization is a technique to store data in the database. We have to reduce redundancy and make an proper tables. That's why we use normalization.
So how do we go about normalizing our table, our database then? Are there any specific set of rules?
So there are basically four types of normal form which we use to normalize our database: 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, and BCNF.
Right. So could you describe what is 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, and BCNF respectively?
1NF deals with multi-valued attributes. So 1NF states that if there is any multi-value attribute, convert it to multiple rows. Suppose we have some table, student and his number, which is a multi-valued attribute. There may be two numbers. So rather than putting it in one row, make two separate rows in our database. So this is 1NF. 2NF deals with partial dependency. Suppose we have one table where A, B, C, and D are four attributes. AB is a candidate key which is together finding C, and B is finding D individually. So here AB is a candidate key. So AB should find C and D, but rather than finding D together, B is finding D, which is performing a partiality. So this is 2NF. 2NF states that remove partial dependency. So we can convert this into two tables. First table will be A, B, C, and the second table will be B and D. Third normal form deals with transitive dependency. Suppose we have a table with attributes A, B, C. A finds B and B finds C. So A is our candidate key. So rather than A finds all the things, here B is finding C, which is not our candidate key. So our 3NF tells that remove transitive dependency. So here we will make two tables. The one table will be having A and B, and second table will have B and C. Now in 1NF, 2NF and 3NF, we have some prime or non-prime attribute finding non-prime attribute. Suppose we have something which is finding our prime attributes. So our BCNF tells that nothing should find our prime attribute, instead it is a super key. So let's take an example. Suppose we have a table having A, B, C, and AB is finding C and C is finding B. Here C is not our prime attribute, even though it is finding our prime attribute, which is B. So we will make two tables where AB is finding C, and in second table the attribute will be C and B. So these are all normal forms.
Right. So Sanket, here is a table shown to you on the screen. Can you normalize this table?
Yes. So here we have employee ID, employee name, employee zip, employee state, employee city, and employee district. So here our primary key will be employee ID. Nothing is multi-valued here. So the given table is in our first normal form. Let me check for partial dependency. Here employee ID can find all the attributes, as employee ID can find employee name, employee zip can find employee state, city and district. So our table is in 2NF. So let's check for transitive dependency. So here we are finding employee zip from employee ID, and employee zip is finding employee state, employee city and employee district. So this is violating 3NF. So we can convert this table to a normalized form by making two tables. First table will contain employee ID, employee name and employee zip, and second table will contain employee zip, employee state, employee city and employee district. So now our table is normalized up to third normal form. Let me check for BCNF. So here our employee ID is our prime attribute and nothing is finding our prime attribute. So the table is normalized as a whole. Now we have our table which is proper. We cannot reduce anything. So that's it.
Correct, Sanket. We can normalize it effectively till BCNF. So I have another question for you, and we will stop after this. What type of data structure do you use for indexing?
B-tree is used for indexing. In the backend of MySQL or SQL server, B-tree is implemented. So we use B-tree.
Yes, that is the correct answer, Sanket. So that's it, guys, from our side. We will stop here for today, and we will come back to you with more such interview preparation series. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video if you think it has helped you even a little bit in your interview preparation. Also, if you have any doubts, do ask them in the comment section. We will be sure to answer them all. Do check out the blog link in the description below, where we have listed all the questions and proper answers of them at one place only. Moreover, if you want to join our team and create videos and content with us, you can fill out the form in the description below. So we will see you next time. Bye bye.